Welcome to Dear Business Coach, the podcast. My name's Elisabete. Find one thing to move your business forward today. With conversations, spotlights, interviews, articles, and free resources. Listen, follow, and subscribe on social media, Dear Business Coach pages and groups, Dear Business Coach podcast. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. And don't forget Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. All it takes sometimes is one little thing to move your business forward today.
It can be more for someone who doesn't love so much. And so like we received like crazy nice words after this session, and we thought, okay, normally this person are going to come back the next year when they're going to do another digital kickoff or when they have another reason for another team building, or they're going to speak about us, and we'll see the colleagues a couple of weeks after. But we were really thinking like, oh my God, this is not enough. Like they just had like a crazy nice moment. And as we say often, like laughter is natural, but it's also like a fundamental right, like joy. Joy is like something we too easily renounce. We too easily renounce about joy. Pardon my French. So like we were like, okay, we have to find like programs for people who really want to change their attitude, because like it worked for you. It had been working for me. Like we would need more than an hour to really express how crazy it can transform your life. Because like, for instance, like when I started, like I was really, really down, really, really sad, and like tried like several therapies, nothing had worked. And then started to laugh more and more, then started to have my first clients. Then I'm not going to redo the whole history, but quickly get like 10 people per day, then 2 sessions of 10 people, then more and more and more and more. So, but what also changed is that like my whole attitude, my whole capacity of attraction completely changed. And that was like really amazing, because like back then, as I said, like I was like completely down. I was also broke. I started to earn a lot of money thanks to the laughter session. Like started to receive like calls from press who wanted to have interviews about Fall in Love, podcasts, videos, TV channel. At some point, it had been like a class, an auxiliary class at Stanford in the cursus Humor and Resilience. And like, just like the more I was laughing, the more I was realizing, oh my God, life can be like just amazing. Like it can like completely change. Like I often compare it to have a dog. Like when you like, let me explain this. Like you walk in a street, and normally you will cross, let's say, your neighbors, or like the guy who sells some veggies at the corner of your street, and like random interactions. And when you have a dog, everybody starts to smile at you. But this is exactly the same, because like you feel so much better in your body and in your mind. You start to emanate like a complete different glimpse, and people start to interact like much more with you. Good things happen. Yeah.
And also, you feel better in your body, because when you're down, you feel so heavy. And what laughter does is remove the heaviness and the weight that comes with the tensions. So you feel so light. It's like you're walking on clouds.
I'm just listening to you. I'm thinking about my posture and not realizing I need to So I am fascinated by this idea that you can teach yourself to laugh and almost teach yourself in a personal or workplace situation. You almost start a conversation or walk into a room knowing how to start with laughter. And you're kind of saying that I don't need to know how to formulate a great joke or be a comedian. And that's my fear, right? Is I find lots of things funny, but I don't know how to articulate that, right? Just really quickly. If I'm in somebody's office, I often try to uh, will say something that maybe makes me or the other person crack a smile, but I'm not any good at actually delivering a joke. And you're saying you don't need to know how to do that I don't need to know how to do that.
No, if you just also, if you can, like a very simple example is you walk into a room with a smile, most people will look at you and smile again because you want to mirror what the person is doing. So if you start laughing, they also will start laughing and your message gets delivered much better. I'm with you, like I don't like own humor as much as Thomas. So like understanding this trick, like I have been doing it without realizing it, but I think now that I own it because I'm conscious about it, it's much more easier to get into conversation with like networking events or what so on, because just smiling and laughing, it's just easier. And also like it's good for me, it's good for the other one, good for the relationship. So it's just like almost like you're a walking sun around you. I don't know. That's how I see it.
But like everybody has ever experienced that, like you're in a room and someone enters the room like laughing, and then you can't resist.
What are they laughing at? What is it, right? And like you said,
Also
so
want to laugh.
You want to
right,
point
not
forward
at.
and see this person, so it marks immediately your mind. But like it's also like a interesting, like at different levels. Like we often also use this part to do like special sessions for leaders, because as we already know, like humor can be like a great asset for leaders. And again, like laughter is like a supreme asset for leaders, because
It makes you magnetic, so people want to follow you.
so like what happens is that like we want to convince with the with some skills we believe we have or not, so like we think that to be a great leader, I have to convince you to do this and that. Like I have to be able to manage properly the team. But like it comes back to my skills, and like an exercise we used to do is like to love in a queue in a supermarket,
Okay. It's working.
But some people, some of our former guests and clients send us video doing it. Like at the beginning, it was just a joke, like a supposition, and then it became like a real exercise. But thanks to these people who send us the videos, and indeed it works, because like if you hold like a laughter more than 10 seconds, 20 seconds, like depends, someone else is going to laugh with you, So suddenly you realize, oh, I have a natural power to convince people. And that's a big click, because you realize, oh, like I'm positively contagious.
Yeah, and to go back to this example of the line in the supermarket, most people what you usually say is that they're scrolling on their phone, so like not wasting their time. Let's put it that way.
Are you a LinkedIn user? If you are, you can join me for LinkedIn Live Audio with Elisabeth every week, usually on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I will have a LinkedIn Live Audio where we talk about podcasting for executives who speak and podcasting for team leaders who speak. These are the themes that are currently running. If that sounds like something you're interested, visit me, Elisabeth Walker at Work, on my LinkedIn profile.
By laughing, everybody's sharing like this positive moment together. So why not?
Yeah. So what is so you were so I'm getting the idea that you are building for folks like myself who might want to attend a coaching program with you, right? If I have the opportunity to work with you for say a few months rather than one or two sessions, what does that look like? We're diving into the process of how I guess laughter yoga works, or the practice behind it. So after a few months with you, can I take this practice and share it with people at work, with my family? Will I be a little bit set up to teach other people too, a little bit about what you do?
We hope so. That's what we're doing. As Thomas said before, it's very contagious. And the point of like trying this new offer on the period of 6 months is because we want to be able to be with people when they practice the laughter.
Yeah.
So like, just like we are doing now, like we're going to share like a lot of knowledge around laughter for people who who are generally more intellectual people and need the theory, and also like to dig deeper. But like every week we will do like laughing sessions, like with different exercises. But they will also have like, let's say, little videos with some homeworks to be able to realize. I don't know, somehow it's a bit like IFS. I don't know if you've ever done that, like internal family system. So it's a very interesting practice that helps you to realize that you have like different persona acting in yourself. Like maybe like a passive Elisabete, maybe
The working Elisabete.
working Elisabete,
Definitely.
Elisabete, or maybe something, maybe needy Elizabeth, you know, and realizing that all these persons take part in your life at different moments, and you will realize, actually, when I'm confronted with this situation, this is always this persona that takes the lead and actually decide for myself. And maybe it would be interesting to listen a bit more to self-confident Elizabeth this day, instead of having always the same situation looping and looping and looping, you know? So the idea is to realize I can use laughter in many, many different situations. So many situations, like how to say, like I get upset because it became a habit, you know?
Yeah.
No, I'm not even knowing why I'm still upset about all these things. Like so to give you an example that helped to have a great overview, is that quite often at the end, like, of the basic 30-minute session, like, some people say like, hey, okay, I got you, thank you for all these exercises, but am I not going to look like crazy if I laugh out loud at my desk? You know?
Yes. No.
Generally, like, I have to tell the the guy or the lady, like, let's be honest, yes, you will. But then what's crazy, what's awesome, that it allows us to move to the next level. And this is funny because we call this different session level 1, level 2, and laughing like a tool, as she said. Then we move to laughing as an ally, and then there's like a third level, laughing as an act of consciousness. So the idea is like to realize, like, hey, why does society generally accept so much more that people hit their desk when they're upset, or honk in jam, or like sometimes yell on a client or on their insurance company? Why is it more accepted than laughing at your desk? You know? So basically, why do we choose negativity over positivity. And so like asking these questions allows us to dive into this big question and realizing, oh my God, like I took this habit and I'm not even realizing that like I'm so conditioned to get upset when this or that happens, and like realizing, oh, I could just smile. I could just and get my power back, And then it goes to bigger issues, like you see like this big challenge or this big problem you've been postponing and postponing. And by postponing it, you create like a mountain. And when you look at it, you're just like, oh my God, no, And you give all your power to this problem. And like laughing at the problem is like, get the power back, the mountain becomes smaller, and then you can start to look for solutions.
Yeah, but we also recently saw there was a study about anger that said when you get angry, you release, I don't know the number for the amount of cortisol, but then it stays for you for 5 hours. So you getting angry just maybe 5 seconds, you have like the consequences that follow you for 5 hours. And everybody knows like the cortisol, like too much cortisol in your body can lead to like severe health issues. And when you compare it to like all the benefits that you get from like 10 seconds of laughter, it sounds crazy that we as a collective accepted that it's normal to get angry rather than laugh at a problem.
And to pass it on.
Yeah, and to pass it on.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, so I also, let's see, I was thinking while we were talking that you say that embracing laughter, if you're a leader, can make you magnetic. It does. People want to follow you. And why do we, why is it more acceptable societally? Which, by the way, we're talking to each other across the world right now, and I know exactly what you mean, right? It is normal and acceptable to be like, this is a problem. And immediately what I am thinking of when you say this habit, right? This habit to, for example, you're at your desk and you get frustrated and you pound the desk to express or release. And it almost makes me think of, have you ever been around somebody long enough, maybe an acquaintance or a friend, or maybe even your partner at home, where you see patterns of throwing a temper tantrum, right? Where it's like, if I just get angry or upset enough, somebody will come and pay attention to me and my problem. And it's kind of like a childish way to get somebody to come and pay attention to you, and maybe we'll get somebody to fix this problem for us. And that's just never going to happen. So conversely, you say, and this is fantastic, I need to figure out how to put this into a tagline or in a description of this interview, is to not give your power to the problem, right? Laughing helps us keep the power for ourselves, I guess, is that kind of one way of saying it.
Yeah, 100%. Anger is a beautiful emotion. It's there to protect us and show us when like somebody's not respecting the boundaries. But we are like, as a society, getting angry for no reason, as you mentioned. And I think that's what you were saying before. Sometimes it's out of habit. And I think you nailed it perfectly, Elisabete. It's because we want attention, and we've been conditioned to believe, okay, if I get angry, I will get the attention and I will get the help. But actually, if you ask nicely, you can also get the help. And then you release all this cortisol, and you don't ruin, like, little by little, the relationship you have with the person.
I have a nice tagline for you.
The copywriter.
No, like when I read it for the first time, I was like, oh my God, like I'm not a tattoo person. Elisabete has several, I love them. Like for the first time, I was like, okay, maybe I could have one too. But like before that, I was always like, I don't think it's fitting me. And like for the first time, when I thought of this sentence, I was like, okay, that could be one, So like I'm sharing the sentence with you. Like the reason why you don't live the life you want is because you keep on feeding the life you don't want.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is so
Pretty
good.
crazy.
Yeah.
But so like the problem you just described with the situation, like again, like it's someone who hasn't been taught better, and so like it's just like throwing his tantrum because he doesn't realize that there are some positive ways to get attention. No? So
Well, I think that we are, as a whole, we are more folks like yourself are professionally speaking this way, right? That there are positive ways to collaborate and positive ways to lead. And so I think that luckily more folks like yourself are doing the work to teach people a better way of doing things. And I keep hearing you all use, and Elisabete, you have in your profile or your about section, social change. And so you obviously feel that this is very important work. So we can say we are doing important work by studying and practicing laughter. It is important, and we're laughing and having fun. And so what also I was going to ask you about maybe an exercise, like or something to think about how we're exercising laughter in our daily lives. Something happened to me this morning where I don't know, I woke up a little too early, and something made me feel a little grumpy, and I couldn't get back to sleep. And I inherently, or maybe not inherently, but I've been training myself to recognize that, right? Okay, if I'm not careful, I could sit here and think about whatever is making me cranky for the next 3 hours and completely ruin what could have been a perfectly okay night of sleep. And the one tool that I know to do out of practice is to put on a podcast, listen to a stand-up comedian, or even just a podcast with people who maybe their show is not specifically a comedy podcast, but I know that the people who are speaking tend to laugh a lot and have humor in their show. And that's all it takes is a little bit of a breather and listening to something different than the own voices in my head. And so it does work, right? So when you tell like your child, for example, to just take a few deep breaths, whatever's bothering you will pass. And so can we do exercises at home that are like that, but involve or should I wake up and literally do a laughing yoga exercise?
That could be something, but we also I love that you mentioned that if you're angry, you have you think immediately to listen to a funny podcast, because that is also an advice that we give to people. Instead of watching the traditional news, you can watch a comedian doing the news. That's big in the US, right? You can listen to upbeat music to get you in a nice groove. Watch comedy movie instead of horror movie. Those are just little things to be aware of to brighten or boost your day. But then we have many exercises.
yeah, we can do one.
Yeah.
Okay. We can do the first one.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we stand up?
Yeah,
okay.
Standing. And this is our dog.
And we
Wait.
okay. Can you stand up?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if you can see. We'll see. Let's see.
Okay.
Here, I'll just pause myself for a second and then.
Okay, so place your right hand on the belly.
Okay.
Left hand on the chest.
Okay.
As we explained a bit earlier, you've got the diaphragm here. That's the one we're going to solicitate with a little noise that sounds like this. Ho, ho. Okay, 3, all together. 3, 2, 1, ho, ho. Okay, so now we're going to speed it up and doing it louder. Okay, 3, 2, 1, ho, ho. Okay. Okay, louder, stronger, faster. 3, 2, 1. Ha ha. 3, 2, 1. Ha ha. 3, 2, 1. Ha ha. 3 times in a row. 3, 2, 1. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha.
Okay, now I see why it's like yoga.
Okay. You want to try another one?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. You
So
want
now
to
we're gonna trigger also noise, but from the coming from the belly, and it's gonna sound like this. We go together in 3, 2, 1. Again, stronger and louder this time. 3, 2, 1. We go for 3 times in a row. 3, 2, 1.
I ran out of breath. Well, that takes practice.
Nice.
Yeah, it's also a sport, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, you're going to burn calories like this.
Okay, you can't even see my head. That's okay.
But we also we advise people. I mean, that's what we do, is also to do the exercise in the shower.
Yeah.
In the shower, for me, I just go like ho ho ho, ha ha ha, he he for like the longest time until like I feel my body like loosening up and the energy rising. We also recommend to people after the session to try and laugh by themselves when they're alone, and then with other people, but that's little by little. Just thinking
Okay,
that
so
have it active and not passive.
say that again. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Because like Thomas, you mentioned before that we want to go from a passive laughter to an active laughter. So by training yourself to laugh when you're alone and then with people, that's how you get active with your laughter.
Oh, okay, okay. That that is clicking together for me a little bit more now.
Yeah.
Cool. Passive to active. I'm writing. So okay, so now and I know I can come to you if I want a 30, 60, or 90-minute session, and yet you have the 6-month program. Is that something that I can enroll in now?
Yeah, you can go to on our website, fallinlove.com. Then on the button book online, you can either choose like a corporate offer or individual. You can sign up for the wait list.
Awesome. Okay, what else have I missed anything that we should highlight today for you?
But like there's something like which is not like fully done yet, but like we created like a super nice TV show a couple of months ago.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, like and this is like to I don't know if we can already explain a bit.
I think yeah, because we're working like with some other partners. I don't know, but basically the point is to spread more joy and to help people in difficult part of the world with difficult work situations to laugh more. Basically, yeah. To sum it up.
Yeah. It's
Very
more,
subtle.
it's more exciting than that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
A lot of laughter.
So like yeah, we're waiting for like the right team to concretize that. Yeah. But like I believe like either at the end of the year or at the beginning of 2025, like we will be able to broadcast Fall in Love like a bit all around the world on TV. And
wow.
yeah, that is going to be wonderful. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, so stay tuned to fallinlaugh.com for the television show. Right now, you can sign up for coaching and for 4 sessions with Fall and Laugh with Thom and Elisabete. And so we'll need to talk again so we can showcase and interview you about your television show, because that's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fantastic. I have no idea what time it is or how long we've been talking. So
exactly 1 hour.
Okay. Well, then it's time to let you get on with your day. And so, yes, thank you so much for coming today. And everyone look out for Thom and Elisabete at fallinlaugh.com. And I thank you so much. I hope you have a fantastic afternoon.
Thank you.
You
You
too.
too. Have a
Thank you.
nice
Bye-bye.
day. Thank you. It was
Thank
great.
Ciao, Elisabeth. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Elizabeth in Floyd, Virginia. This has been an episode of Dear Business Coach.